New Jaws and Star Wars games. Jack Danger returns to streaming. New P3 minigame.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Houston. I'm the editor of Pinball Magazine, and I'm joined by...
Hi, I'm Martin Neb. I'm the editor of Pinball News, and Jonathan and I are here to look back on all the exciting events that happened in the month of July 2025 in the world of pinball. And I say all the exciting events, but weren't that many exciting events in July, so we should better keep this reasonably short.
Yeah, no, especially if you look at the stream of new announced games of the past 2 months, then the month of July was relatively quiet.
It was indeed, and the ones two of the new ones that came out are re-releases of existing games, so or new versions of them. So not great announcements, but interesting nonetheless to see what happens in the summer months, which is normally pretty quiet anyway. So we might as well sort of get on with it then and go to our very first headline, which is about some new games from Stern Pinball.
Yes,
and let's start with...
Well, the Star Wars Home Edition Plus game, which is available to order from Costco at a price of $4,799 US dollars. I was actually surprised to see Stern still trying to get this home model thing off the ground again, and probably because they're like, well, it's only 5 months to Christmas, so we better get them in stores now.
Yeah, I'm not sure anybody's going to hold on to one in a box until Christmas, but it's interesting to see that they've made some changes, minor changes, but still of some import to this Star Wars Home Edition Plus compared to their last home model, which was, of course, the Jurassic Park Home Edition Plus. So this one is actually $200 cheaper than the Jurassic Park one. So that's Jurassic Park was listed at $5,999 on Stern's website, but in reality it was available at Costco for $4,999. And as you just said, the new Star Wars Home Edition Plus, which means it comes with Insider Connected, that's for $7,999, so $100 cheaper than Jurassic Park. But of course, we've seen this design before. There's really no change to the playfield layout on this compared to the previous Home Edition. What is new, though, is that it comes with a larger LCD screen. It's now a 10-inch LCD screen compared to a little tiny thing that was on the previous one. I forget the exact size of it, but it wasn't impressive. But it means they've redesigned the back box in order to accommodate it. And It looks much more like a Pro model, I'd say, although it's good $2,000 cheaper. So, but of course, it's not the same design as the Pro model of Star Wars, the Steve Ritchie design. So this is the one which was it Spider-Man Home Edition? I think so. Original layout was. Yeah, I think so. So anyway, that is. As you said, going to be available, or is available now, actually, at selected Costco stores in the US. It may be worth, if you're not desperate to get one, maybe worth hanging around to see what happens to it, because when it came to the Jurassic Park one, Costco were clearing those out at the very end to get them out of the stores, and they were available for around about $3,000, I think. So whether the same will happen with this one, I don't know.
So that makes me wonder, like, why would... Okay, if this didn't work for Costco last time around, why would they get on board on this one?
Well, perhaps they sold enough to make it worth their while. And maybe even at $3,000, they were still making money on the game.
Right.
I don't know how much it cost to make the thing, but it'd be interesting to see. Well, very interesting to know what the margin was on that price when it was and they're selling it for $4,999. They were clearing it out at $3,000. But I think that's kind of built into the business model for these big warehouse places, that they'll make the money at full price, best they can, and then they'll clear out the stock to make room later.
But so imagine buying it last year at full retail price instead of the discounted one, and now there's an improved model which is actually cheaper than what you paid. Well, try selling yours.
Yes, this is you mean the Star Wars Home Edition, which before it was the Plus one. Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely, yeah. I can't remember whether you could add Insider Connect to that or whether it came with it. Maybe it did come with it, but certainly didn't have the larger screen. So yes, you're right. It's going to hit resale value, but I guess there aren't that many of those out there, so maybe there's a certain rarity to them as well. But anyway, good as you said. Good to see Stern still sticking with trying to sell home editions, and I'm not sure where the sweet spot is on price point, but it's still a significant amount of cash to pay, for $4,800 for the home model.
Yeah. So, and that wasn't the only reskinned game, if you want to call it that. There was also the new 50th anniversary edition of Jaws, which is a premium model for Stern in this case, with different cabinet artwork, different back glass. Actually, basically the back glass is also on the side of the cabinet. It's the very familiar image of the shark going straight up to the woman.
Yeah, it's a movie poster, really, isn't it?
Yes. So different cabinet artwork, blood red armor, brass powder-coated wireform ramps, some glitter on the playfield, and a distinctive 50th anniversary hologram sticker. Woohoo!
Wow, that's the kicker.
Yeah. Playfield hasn't changed other than the use of glitter on the playfield print, but other than that, it's identical to the regular Jaws models, I would say.
Yeah,
premium and limited edition, that is, of course. So, but yeah, okay. Well, 50th edition, anniversary edition. So, and apparently, it's been doing well for Stern. So I guess people were actually waiting for that to happen, because obviously, if you wanted a Jaws pinball machine, you could have already gotten one.
Yes,
last year.
Yeah, I have to say, personally, I preferred the cabinet artwork on the original game, but you get a few extras, as you mentioned, about the red armor and the brass powder coated wireforms and the glitter on the playfield on the new one. So there's swings and roundabouts there. But I first saw that game with basically the movie poster, the iconic image, not only on the translite, but also on the cabinet sides and on the back box sides and cabinet front. And I thought, that was we didn't put a lot of effort into that. But I guess if you really like that image, then that's the game for you.
Right. Okay. Well, so and then off to our second headline, which is also regarding Stern Pinball. We've talked about personnel changes in the past. Mm-hmm. This one, I don't think anybody saw coming, but we're talking about Jack Danger, who we all know as, he started streaming. He was the first to start streaming pinball on Twitch a couple of years ago. I even had an interview with him in Pinball Magazine number 5.
That long ago.
That long ago, indeed. At some point, just for fun, he started also live streaming some of his ideas for pinball game design and started building that basically live for everybody to see, which resulted in him actually being asked to become a game designer at Stern. And well, it certainly came as a surprise to me that he's now returning to streaming in a new role as a head of community. But it also means he will no longer be designing pinball machines.
Yeah, and not even finishing the game that he's currently working on, which is even more surprising. Because you think you see your baby, as it were, through to birth, and the game through to completion. But apparently, he's now taken on that role as head of community. Means he could be doing a lot more streaming, and will be sort of bringing back the Dead Flip Twitch channel and various other outlets as well. And the game on which he was working. His fourth game after Jurassic Park, Home Edition, Foo Fighters, and Uncanny X-Men. That's going to be finished by other people at Stern.
Right. The team obviously is probably still the same. It's Jack in a different role, but the rest of the team is still there. So somebody.
Yeah, sure. But as we've seen, a game. Well, once you've designed the game, that's not the end of your involvement in bringing it.
No, that's true. Yeah,
there's a lot that needs to be tweaked and finessed in order to make it the best it can be. And as we've seen in the past, what happens when that is either not done or rushed. So be interested to see who's brought in to work on that now. So I suspect it will be George. That seems to
or John Borg.
Could be John, but I suspect John's busy working on on one of his upcoming titles himself.
Right.
It must be about his time.
I thought the timing was rather odd in the sense that this was just announced before San Diego Comic-Con, where Jack Danger indeed did stream for 4 days for Stern Pinball, various games being played at the event and recording videos and what have you. But I figured, okay, well, that's a 4-day event, and then what are you going to do after that? I mean, yes, sure, there are more shows and so on, but to me it came across as if he was appointed this new position just for what he was doing at Comic-Con. But apparently that's not the case. So.
No, but the announcement came out just before that as well, and saying that he will be starting his new position as head of community with the San Diego Comic-Con show, where, as you say, he did do a lot of streaming across the entire duration of it. But according to Stern's announcement, Jack's new responsibilities will include serving as an ambassador for the company, elevating pinball's visibility through community engagement, strategic content creation. These are all sort of very vague terms, but sort of typical press release type of wording. Right. Relationship building with the community. Jack will continue to stream broader pinball and other content on the official Dead Flip Twitch channel. So, presumably say broader content, I mean not just Stern.
Well, I can't wait for him to stream Harry Potter.
Yeah, well, indeed, and then the upcoming Spooky game as well.
Right. Yeah. For example. So. Oh well. Anyway, we wish Jack all the best in his new position at Stern, and we look forward to seeing him at future shows.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing more of him. I suspect, as he'll be there on our screens.
Right. Yeah. So.
Anyway, you were talking about San Diego Comic-Con.
Yes.
And of course, Stern were there.
Yes, as every year for the past couple of, I think 5 or 6 years already now. Mm-hmm. This is sort of like a annual stop for Stern, which is not surprising considering the fact that they have a lot of titles which are loved by the San Diego Comic-Con audience, the cosplay audience, and so on, all the superheroes and all that. And as usual, Stern was sharing a booth, so not just a booth of their own, but they have this. There's this record label which is heavily involved in heavy metal and harder rock type of music.
Mm.
They had several artists signing autographs at the booth, and a merchandise stand, of course. And besides that, there's always the pinball lounge inside the Marriott Pacific Ballroom, where they had 30 pinball machines set up. And again, mostly themes that would appeal to the Comic-Con audience. So superheroes, Jaws, that kind of stuff. So
Yes, they mentioned about the time of the record company. Made me wonder and think back. Was that the show where Ozzy Osbourne was with Stern?
yeah, it was
Signing.
2 or 3 years ago, I think.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, so some topical tie-in there.
Yeah, especially with Ozzy Osbourne dying.
Exactly. Yeah.
Last week.
Yes. And,
probably around during Comic-Con.
His funeral was on Wednesday. Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So
that's most of our Stern pinball news, but we do, of course, have new code because Stern and their coding team have been very busy working on updates for a slew of games. So we can kick those off very quickly. And there was before we started, there was a massive list of all the updates and changes made, and I just cut it all down to a few bullet points, basically, because if you have the game, you'll be able to read all about it on Stern's website, and if you don't, then you just want to know the key changes. So a game which had been criticised in the past for not getting many updates, has had a big update on the 24th with version 0.96. Stern seemed to come into started naming their releases rather than giving them code, or just giving them code numbers. So this is the Excommunicado release, apparently. So which includes a lot of changes to the rules for various modes and multi-balls. Added the missing 7th Addable Faction Perk Award, which we mentioned last month about them adding faction perks, but there was one missing, which was the Addable one, but that's been added now. There's lots more speech, lighting effects, display effects, a new swipeable mode, which allows you to unlock any balls that you've locked for the red circle multi-ball at other points during the game. So you can do that prior to starting the consecrated multi-ball. So that's a new feature. And this code, actually, I was going to say this code includes a feature or changes that have been applied to all the other updates, which is just a minor thing about Australian pricing. Australia 6 pricing has changed. But in fact, John Wick is the only one that didn't have that change. So maybe it was maybe coming in a future one. Uncanny X-Men. That had another big update as well, which was the follow-up to the previous one. This is called Days of Future Code Part 2, which has lots of...
How many parts are there?
Well, we'll see, won't we? But it's still not there yet, because it's only version 0.92, so there's a way to go. That came out on the 22nd of July, but there's too much of it to go through, because there's so many changes, and all the money makes sense if you know how they used to work. So I won't go into that. Jaws, meanwhile, has had 2 updates in July, one on the 2nd, one on the 22nd. The one on the 2nd added in support for the anniversary, the 50th anniversary premium edition, which we spoke about earlier, and also added in the new Final Wizard mode called Smile, You Son of a... Of course, being Stern, they can't actually put the final word into the title of that, so it just says ... with 3 phases to complete, and it's a time mode, single ball, and completing it starts Super Celebration Multi-Ball. And unusually, which came as a bit of surprise to a number of people, when you complete Super Celebration Multi-Ball, it ends the game. It doesn't just end the ball, it actually ends the entire game. So you have to add a whole new level of strategy to what you play and when you play it and how well you play it. So there's no point bailing out of modes if you're shortcutting your way to the end of the game and not getting the maximum points you could get. They also added in various competitive mode or team play game modes. 2 versus 2, 3 versus 1, 2 versus 1, and a whole bunch more. But that was in the first update. On the second, added some more stuff in on 22nd. So that's actually version 1.01 now. And finally, a very minor update for Star Wars. Yes, that's right, the original, not the Home Edition or the Home Edition Plus, which had a very minor update. I don't quite know why they brought that out. Seemed to be something which was critical, so they brought it out on the 22nd of July as well. So a big code day. It just fixed a little issue in the test menu with an erroneous page that was included in it. So I whipped that out, and that was the totality of that update, and that wraps up our code updates, I think, for this month.
Well, actually, it wraps up our coverage of Stern Pinball.
Ah, good. Okay, time to move on then. Who's next?
So, Multimorphic in Round Rock, Texas would be next. They are working on there's a new third-party game being released called Romania, as in Romania.
Yes, very good.
Which was created by Neil Wilson, and 100% of the proceeds of the game will be donated to the Austin Pinball Collective and other pinball-related charitable organization. The game does require the drained P3 playfield module and costs $125, and that's without the playfield module, of course.
Yes.
So
just a download.
Yeah, I missed the press release on that one. So, do you know more about it?
Yeah, it came in the monthly update from Jerry at Multimorphic, and from there you can follow the links through. And it's I tell you the truth, I was so slow on the update, I didn't even pick up the Romania wording pun until you said it just then. With it being about the drained playfield, which is about vampires, and of course Dracula, Romania. Yes, got it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So a bit slow on the uptake.
Sometimes Martin's a little bit slow.
Well, it's late at night. I need more coffee. But anyway, it's not nice to see that. That's available for download. Looks an interesting game. It's just a fun mini game. So well done to Neil, and nice to get these mini games available for Multimorphic's P3 platform. So
but
another one. There's more. Ooh.
Yeah. Obviously, at Texas Pinball Festival, or right before that, Multimorphic revealed their newest playfield module for the P3, Portal, based on the popular video game. Production still has to begin for that game, but they're still on schedule for later this summer.
Yes, that's right. Yep, they'll be, as usual, be producing them in batches. So depending on when you put your order in, you'll be in one batch or another, and they'll be producing complete games alongside playfield modules. But as you said, it was always scheduled to start production towards the end of the summer, and at the moment that's looking good. So we look forward to playing the final production version.
Right. So last month we reported that Multimorphic, along with other manufacturers, but in their case, they're now also offering anti-reflective glass, and theirs is called Pin Glass. They're now also selling corner cushions to protect the corners, which could get damaged when standing the glass upright on the floor. These are basically $10, $9.99, but US sales only. However, that's not the most interesting news regarding Pin Glass. What I found actually far more interesting is that I think they're the only company that's offering pin glass in a wide body size. Don't think anybody else is offering wide body non-reflective pinball glass. So, so if you're looking,
you certainly could get it from PDI, pinball. Pinball. Oh God, I don't remember what it stands for now. But it was called PDI glass, and it was available. There's Roman over here in Europe who was sourcing it and selling it through pinball decals in the US, and so that was available in regular and wide body. Because I know quite a lot of people got the wide body version of that, but I haven't seen that available for a long time, and it used to be quite a bit more expensive than other companies are now offering it. So I guess whatever technique they were using, which when I did the tests on various different types of anti-reflective glass, that was still the best one, that produced the best results, was the least reflective. But it was the most expensive as well. So there was always a trade-off between price and effectiveness. But everyone seems to be selling anti-reflective glass now. So but it's nice to see, as you say, that wide body glass is available as well. I saw that on Facebook, pictures of the two crates next to each other. You can see that the wide body glass is
wider,
2 inches and about 2.5 inches or something, isn't it? Wider than the standard. But yeah, obviously look different in the crate to the regular glass. So, yeah, nice to see that.
Okay, and that rounds it up for multimorphic.
For now. Okay.
For now, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so let's head on over to your side of the water and Dutch Pinball and Dutch Pinball exclusive, of course, with their Alice's Adventures in Wonderland game, which it's coming, but it's coming slowly, and there've been some delays on toppers. We know that.
Yes.
However, in the meantime, yeah, they've been working with the Electric Playground, and you may remember the Electric Playground produced a number of toppers for different games. Started off made a big splash with the Twilight Zone one, which had a ball on a wire form and a pyramid with an eye screen in it, which was kind of their breakthrough. I think probably their first topper, and they've produced a number of other ones since then, which have generally been met with good responses. Anyway, they've been working with Dutch Pinball Exclusive and Melvin there to produce an expansion, a topper expansion for Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, because the game comes with a topper which has the Cheshire Cat with screens for the eyes, but now it's been enhanced much further with 162 controllable LEDs that match light shows, the same light shows that are on the side rails or in the shooter lane, and it can also be fully customized because they've been working with Stumbler as well, who was producing some of the electronics for the game, and now you can use his mobile app and add your own lighting effects if you want to. And the whole thing has a kind of arch that goes over the top of the Cheshire Cat, has a background to it, all which beautifully illuminated with multiple LEDs, as I just said. Has original artwork by Maria Keller, with supporting original Jabberwock art straight from Dutch Pinball exclusive. And there's a little motorized Jabberwock character that moves in and out of some of the trees which form the backdrop to 3D trees, I should say, or perspex, multi-layered and beautifully illuminated woods that are in the background, and he's animated. There's the arch which goes over the top can come with 2 phrases. Or you would be able to specify your own if you wanted to customize it even further. And I think they only charge $30 for a customization process, so you can order it and say what you want it to say, see if it fits in there. Full installation guide included. mounting hardware, electronics, and it's powered by the machine, so it turns on and off when you turn the machine on and off, which is always a nice feature of some of these other ones that are powered from the the service outlet, which is live all the time. And apparently the whole thing's made in the US, so US buyers shouldn't have to pay any import duties on that from Europe. It's a topic we will probably return to a few times, either in this PINcast or in subsequent ones.
Right.
So yeah.
Do we have a pricing for this topper expansion?
I actually don't have that at the moment, I have to admit. Not sure whether it was announced.
I think I did saw it. Well, don't pin me down on this one, but I thought it was only like $679. I think I read that somewhere, but haven't verified that recently. So I could be wrong. Don't pin me down on that one. But what I read was I found it reasonably priced for these topper pricing these days, so to speak.
Yes, you're absolutely right. It says $599 for the first 100 units, but I think they're already sold out, to be honest. And $679 standard pricing after that, so another $80 bucks.
What a memory!
On top.
Can't believe it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I was
still
right.
Got it, eh? After all these years.
At my age.
Yeah, not bad. Yes, I hadn't caught that, but yes. So there we are. If you have an Alice in Wonderland or have one on order, it will hopefully come with the topper in time, because that is a part which has been delayed somewhat. So I think some games are shipping now with the topper coming later.
Yeah.
So it could be a triple delivery. You can have the game, then you can have the original topper, and then you can have the expanded topper.
Right. So, and there's more news from the Electric Playground. They will also be launching a new King Kong topper in August.
Yeah, this month.
And that's all we know about it.
Yeah, there's no preview pictures or anything about it. Only a very, very loose tease about what it might be. But I think it's fair to say it's going to involve a large gorilla and probably a skyscraper for him to climb up.
Right.
More than that, we don't know.
Right. Hopefully the gorilla will have a face.
Yes, unlike the Pulp Fiction one.
Yes. So, there's a little bit more news from Deep Dutch Pinball exclusive. Melvin Brower Williams filed a trademark for Blade Runner in December of last year already, but it's just been published by the US Patent and Trademark Office for comments and opposition. And there's also news that Melvin, together with Planetary Pinball, registered the name Pinball Legends as a trademark for apparently upcoming pinball mods that will be produced by DPX for various Belly Williams titles, else Planetary would not be involved.
Right. So, I know that Melvin's already filed trademarks for Magic Girl, I think, and Retro Atomic Zombie Adventureland.
Right.
And I think there was another one or not. Whether that was it. But yes, basically all the John Popperduke design games have all been trademarked, or at least trademarks has been applied for all of them. These things take time. So anyway, it was interesting to look up and see what pinball related trademarks have been filed, to see what's up and coming.
Right. Okay. Well, that rounds it up for all the news from the Netherlands regarding Dutch Pinball exclusive and Dutch Pinball. Well, there's another international party, I would say, sort of pendling between the US and Hong Kong, and that would be Wonderland Amusements.
Yes, also producing an Alice in Wonderland themed game.
How original.
Yes, I know, it's all the rage, I tell you. Their latest monthly update video or newsletter, it wasn't a video, it was actually a newsletter, showed parts being made, or parts that had been made using their production tooling. So rather than individual items, they now have their tooling they intend to use to mass produce the game. So they've made some parts using that. They are still deciding on some of the colour choices for various parts, but that's just down to the material and the dyes that they use when they actually mould them. They did build an entire game using these production tooled parts, and said the result was a machine that plays stronger and more reliably than any prototype we've had before.
Wow.
So that's good to know. There was no new gameplay video this month. They did say before that they were working on new code, and it wasn't ready to show at that time, but it would be in this month's update, but it wasn't then either. And they say significant work was still left to be done with the software. So that's not something we've seen before, software lagging on a new game. We're not likely to see any gameplay in August either, apparently, in the August update, which will be at the end of the month. However, some good news is that they say they will have a larger stand at Pinball Expo this year. They launched last year at Pinball Expo with just like a cabinet, pretty much, non-flippable game. And at this year's Pinball Expo in October, they expect to be showing completed games, and say that this is around the time they plan to be shipping the first machines to those who back their project on Kickstarter. So I still think they're on target to ship games in October and have complete games at Pinball Expo for people to play. So it's a lot of work to be done between now and then, but good luck to them.
We love the optimism.
Yes, oh, absolutely, yes. We've had no shortage of that.
Right, okay. Then, that concludes it for Wonderland Amusements. Heading back to the US, we have Spooky Pinball in Benton, Wisconsin. Not that much news to report. They're currently building Evil Dead as their latest game, of course. And they're about halfway through the production of the game. They're now in the 400 something, and the total production is 888, which means that they are very likely to finish production of this game either in December or early January. I believe the staff will get two weeks off around Christmas, so there's no production in those 2 weeks, of course. The next title, heavily rumored to be Beetlejuice, is expected to be announced late November or early December, and most recently, I think yesterday they announced they are looking for a new full-time in-house programmer, and there's even bonuses and benefits if you're willing to move to Benton, Wisconsin, or at least in the area, so you can work in-house. And you wouldn't be the first to do it. Others have done it as well. And if you're a programmer and you'd love to program upcoming pinball machines for Spooky Pinball, then just send an email to bug@spookypinball.com.
Yeah, bug the person, not bug the software. Bug. Yeah.
Right. Yes. And that's basically all the news from Spooky Pinball. Interestingly enough, I spoke to a distributor who said he thinks Spooky could have sold easily 2,000 Evil Dead pinball machines because it's that good.
And that popular, an awful lot of people kicking themselves for not buying into it very early on. But it's a tough call to make, isn't it? It's quite a commitment, and the theme is not for everyone. But as we said before, when we saw it, we had no particular tie into the theme, no love for it. Hey, we certainly enjoyed playing the game.
Oh,
had
yeah,
great
definitely.
fun. Yeah,
So,
I'm sure they could have sold, certainly twice as many machines as they actually are going to make. But
Right.
do they want to keep building that game for the best part of 2 years?
Also, one of the things that people has to take into consideration. So, and there was a little bit more news, which I'm actually looking up.
Breaking.
No. I thought I read something about the whoever will be making or designing the topper for the upcoming spooky game, but I can't find any confirmation for it now. So we'll keep that for you for next month.
Oh, I did see they did a social media post about the designer of their Evil Dead topper.
Yes, Gary J. Tunnicliffe.
Yeah, exactly. Whether that's the same guy who's doing the upcoming topper, I don't know. But
I don't either. That's why I'm not confirming it.
No, okay. Well, in that case, I think that wraps up all the news we have for Spooky Pinball this month. We'll actually head back to Europe briefly to Hexa Pinball, who, of course, are in the Bordeaux region of France and have been producing their Space Hunt game for quite a while. And people have been starting to wonder whether they will be bringing out a second title. Well, yes, is the answer to that. Hexa Pinball say they've started building the first prototype of their second title, and they got the team back together again, got the band back, and showed a picture of the three founders of Hexa Pinball all around the table, looking presumably at images of the new game. And fortunately, there are no more details about what the game is or when we can expect to find out more details of it. But all I say is that they are working on a second game, and they've started building the first prototype of it. So good luck to Hexa Pinball. We look forward to seeing what they come up with. As Space Hunt was a very impressive game, especially as their first one. So we look forward to seeing what they can do with the second.
So I do know that somebody that we both know, and I will not mention his name, recently visited Hexa Pinball.
Oh, yeah.
Knows more about the second game, and I believe it has been confirmed that Hexa Pinball will be at the Dutch Pinball Open Expo again this year, which is the third weekend of November, if I'm not mistaken, 21st to 23rd of November in Veldhoven. I'm not sure whether they will be bringing any prototype or anything regarding a second game, but I know Hexa Pinball will be there.
Oh, it'd be nice if they did a seminar, perhaps, and talked about the upcoming game. They haven't got it to bring yet.
Right. So, and that's all I got on Hexa Pinball. So
okay. Well, let's move on from one H to another H, and but over on the other side of the world in Taiwan, where we've got Homepin, and they've been producing the Blues Brothers game, which is of course the open source title, which people can add their own music and rules to. But they have sent out a service bulletin for that about some MOSFETs used in the game, which are like transistors, but higher power and more controllable. They have been failing due to errors from the device manufacturers. Mike posted that they have a big issue with fake devices. Not so much that Homepin had that problem, but in the market in general, there's a huge number of fake devices or misrepresented devices out there, transistors, MOSFETs, that kind of thing. And so they went to great lengths in order to make sure they got the the parts directly from the manufacturer, the MOSFETs directly from the manufacturer. But it turned out that the manufacturer made mistakes and under-spec'd the MOSFET. So they are, Homepin are now saying you should replace these 5 MOSFETs on certain Blues Brothers machines built up until the 24th of July. After that, they Homepin caught the problem and fixed it by getting higher rated devices. But new machines up until the 24th of July will very likely have a problem which could cause devices or flippers or solenoids to jam on. So there's only 5 of them that need to be replaced. But of course, not everybody can solder or source suitable replacement parts. So if you can't, then get in contact with Homepin, and they'll work out a way of getting you new boards or somebody to do it for you.
Right.
That's about all the news from Homepin I have at the moment. We look forward to seeing Blues Brothers. I think we'll have that at the UK Pinfest show coming up later this month. So,
right. Completely forgot about that.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. Looking forward to that. That's going to be a good show. And of course, you better read all about it in Pinball News if you can't make it yourself. But of course, we always encourage you to come along in person and help support shows.
Do you know whether the hotel still has any rooms available?
No, I'm afraid it doesn't. No, that's sold out in about 2 minutes once bookings were opened up. So
Okay.
And that's taking over the entire hotel, which Phil has done for the past couple of years now. Every room is booked for the UK Filmfest show.
Okay.
Although that said, there's usually a wait list because some people do cancel, and I don't think there's even a requirement to make a deposit or pay a deposit when you book a room. So people cancel for free, and rooms suddenly become available. But yeah, there is a wait list. But it's worth getting on it if you are thinking of coming.
Right. Okay. Well, I have to check my calendar.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So then, Pinball Brothers in Sweden. What news do we have?
Not a lot, actually. Of course, currently making the Predator game, but not a huge amount of information about or videos of the game coming out. There was a brief clip showing the multi-ball, one of the multi-ball modes from Predator, which certainly looked very full on in terms of all the lighting effects. But a bit too much for me personally. There was a lot of strobing of white, which is of course meant to simulate gunfire, but it kind of made it quite hard for me to watch. And I'd personally say, I need to be in not such a darkened room, or that those effects need to be toned down a bit. Also, in the video that they showed, the Predator's multifunctional sort of wrist gauntlet display. The thing that's on the bottom apron that has the red LEDs in it. That still wasn't working in that video yet. So I think there's probably some way for the code to go. And it's. I think it's looking like a nice game, and we certainly look forward to seeing it. I don't know if it will be at UK Pinfest, because we do have the UK distributor, Pinball Brothers Games, Retro Arcade Specialists there, who will be reviewing the home pin game as well. So, don't never say never, but we keep our fingers crossed, and of course, if we do get to play it, you'll hear all about it in our next PINcast.
Right, okay. Then moving to Barrels of Fun in Houston, Texas, in the US, of course. The only news that we could find was that they will be hosting another Barrels of Fun factory tour as part of the Houston Arcade Expo, which takes place November the 14th to the 16th, which is the weekend prior to the IAPA show, if I'm not mistaken.
And the weekend prior to the Dutch Pinball Open Expo.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And that's all. So another factory tour, and we've taken the tour. It was very impressive, very clean factory. So highly recommended if you're interested in seeing how pinball machines are built. Very efficient factory, I have to say. So
yes, absolutely, and not too far from the Houston Arcade Expo hotel, either where they host the show. So both in Houston, of course. Okay, well, staying in the US, although not really. We're staying in the US because
do you have any local news?
Well, staying in the US with Jersey Jack Pinball, but the news from them comes from the Mina Lima store in London. I think I have a couple of stores in London actually, but one of those got a Harry Potter collector's edition machine delivered to them, courtesy of Pinball Heaven, the UK distributor for Jersey Jack Pinball. It is now set up in the store and on free play for visitors to the store to play. And apparently it's very popular, and there's quite a wait if you want to get on it. So if you are in London and want to play, have some Harry Potter and Harry Potter pinball, I should say, and have some time, then head on over to the Mina Lima store. I think
and just hope that you're not playing it, because then there will be a huge line.
Well, I won't be playing it, but yes, it's an amazing store anyway. To all Harry Potter fans, will certainly not be short of things to engross them while they are waiting to play. So that is about the only news we get from Jersey Jack Pinball. Lots of publicity and social media plugs for the Harry Potter game and the team working on it, and pictures of it in production in the factory. But no real news other than that. So that's our Jersey Jack Pinball news for the month of July.
Right, and well, believe it or not, we're almost at the end already.
Oh my goodness!
Because the next companies, there's actually no news.
Oh, right. Okay.
So we're going to do this really quick. We're talking about Pedretti Gaming, or Pedretti Pinball, whatever you like. Obviously, last month they surprised us with the Ligabue pinball game. But since then, it's been very quiet.
Yep, no news either from American Pinball, who cut the prices on a bunch of their games for the 4th of July sales, which you mentioned last month. But after that, no more news.
Nothing. No news from Turner Pinball either. I think,
busy working on Merlin's Arcade.
Yeah, which is scheduled to go into production, I think, somewhere around August ish. So
yeah,
yeah. No news from Chicago Gaming, although it appears that the upgrade kit for Cactus Canyon,
Live and Sheets one,
yes, has been delayed a bit more.
Even more.
And it was supposed to start shipping by the end of June. Well, June came and went, and July came and went, and hopefully they're shipping about now. But I've not seen any confirmation of that yet.
Okay, well, we'll bring you more next month. No more news either from Pinball Adventures, who mentioned last month. You've spoken to Andrew, and we're talking about Elements, but the next game. But
right.
I haven't seen any more information from them on their Instagram social media feed.
Yeah. So no news from Ramps, formerly known as Tilt Pop, with their road trip game. As far as we know, there is one prototype that was showcased at the Pinball at the Zoo, at the beach.
Yes, that's right.
Festival in February, and after that it's been silent. No news from Vector Pinball in Australia either.
Nope.
Same goes for Bitronic in Spain, Cardona Pinball, STR Pinball in Spain as well, Quetzal Pinball, although I do know they are working on a new game, and that's all I can say.
Yeah. Okay, so we get to other news, and unfortunately, we have to start off with some sad news about the death of a good friend of both of ours, actually.
Yes.
Rob Anthony, who's
Yes, of Pinball Classics, Lockwin Lit, and I think there was one other company name that he used, but can't think of it right now. So
a legend in the pinball parts and repairs business. Used to frequent many shows, including, of course, the Texas Pinball Festival, where he had his own room, and Pinball Expo, where he also used to have his own room when it was back at the West Inn. But that changed a bit when it moved to the new location. But yes, he's been ill for a while. Of course, a big poster on social media with him and his dog Antar, and of course, his previous dog Taro, of course, featured on a spoof Pinball magazine cover, didn't he?
Yes, it did. Yes, it was great fun working with Rob on that one, announcing Pinball Magazine #4 with the main interview or the cover story being an interview with Taro.
Yeah,
that was an April Fool's joke for some years ago, and
of course Rob was a seller of Pinball Magazine and your books as well.
Yes, definitely, yes. So he was a great guy. The last time I saw him was at the Texas Pinball Festival, and I bought a Dragon Slayer miniature video game from him because in his booth he was also selling all sorts of pinball and arcade related merchandise, if you want to call it that. So
yes, to my mind, that will always be Rob Anthony's room. That side room at Texas.
Yes.
There has been a GoFundMe set up for him by JJ of Game Exchange in Colorado to help pay for some of the funeral expenses, the cremation expenses, and also to pay to look after Antar as well. Of course,
and future vet bills and that kind of stuff.
Yes, it's a very sad situation. I think Rob wasn't married and didn't have any kids, I don't think. So there's quite a lot to sort out amongst his personal possessions. Although he'd been having health issues for some time, I think his rapid decline came as a bit of a shock to most people. And
right. Well, I think it might even have come as a shock to Rob himself.
Yes.
No pun intended. But from what I understood from a conversation that was a conversation of text messages right before he died, he was texting with somebody that he was in the hospitals, but he wanted to get home because he had stuff to do, and doctors wouldn't let him go.
No. He had apparently had a heart attack, and so they were keeping him in for that. But he was, prior to that, he'd been very ill, and like a couple of weeks before, and been sort of basically unable to move, or able to get out of bed pretty much, or do anything. So that's why he ended up in hospital. But anyway, we don't want to dwell too much on the medical aspects of it, but
no. I do have to say a huge thank you to JJ of the Game Exchange of Colorado for stepping in, picking up Antar, and taking care of things that had to be taken care of. Many thanks for everything you have done for Rob, and I know that sentiment is shared by many in the pinball community. So
I was just saying, if you want to help donate to JJ's GoFundMe fundraiser, if you just search for Rob Anthony and GoFundMe, you will find a link to it, and we'll be able to make a donation to. Because there are obviously an awful lot of expenses that are incurred when something like this happens, and
right. And there's a lot to sort out as well.
Yeah.
At this point, it is unknown whether there is a will, and how the financial situation is, and all that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, best of luck to those who have to work through that, and and our condolences to anyone who knew Rob, and I'm sure you will be missing him every pinball show in the future.
May he rest in peace.
Indeed. So on to slightly happier news, I suppose. In July we had the 20th Swavesy show here in the UK, but sadly it's also the last one, or at least the last official Swavesy show. It was held on the 11th to 13th of July at the White Horse Inn in the Cambridgeshire village of Swavesey. You can read all about it on the Pinball News, in the Pinball News report, of course. But it was very successful. The raffle and individual donations as well raised over £1,600 for the Alzheimer's Society, which is I guessed about $2,100. I can't remember exactly. About $2,100 US dollars. So a good sum raised and a great way to bid farewell to the Swavesy show. And thank you very much to Mark Squires for all his organisational skills, and for everybody else who worked on the show, running the raffle and collecting the prizes, and playing in the tournament, which was held on Sunday. So everyone had a good time, and we look forward to seeing what comes next.
Right. And I guess that rounds it up for this episode.
I think it does.
Yeah. So we'll be back at the start of September with our next PINcast, looking back at all the pinball events in the industry throughout the exciting month of August, which is summer month, so could be a very short episode as well. As we're not expecting any new game announcements as far as I'm aware of.
You never quite know. But anyway, so until then, when we do come back for the next PINcast, from me, Martin Erb of Pinball News.
And from me, Jonathan Houston of Pinball Magazine.
Yes, we both hope you have an awesome August, and we'll be joining you again next month for the next edition of the Pinball Industry News PINcast. Bye for now.
I do have I do have a little household notification. Pinball Magazine used to offer pinball posters, and they've been taken off the website or the web shop some years ago. I've received quite some requests from people like, would you be willing to offer these again? Well, the main reason they were taken down in the first place is because shipping costs for packages, because posters ship in a tube, which is considered to be a package, became very expensive. And it was, with the current web shop, very difficult to calculate the correct tariff. So to avoid any miscalculations and what have you, I basically took them down. But they're back on the web shop if you're interested. But the request is, do not order through the web shop, but send me an email instead, and I'll get back to you with the proper pricing, because that's still not taken care of. So, and that rounds it up for
Are you sure?
this. I'm not now definitely.
Well, if we can have
yes.
a final, then I'll just add in a big thank you to all the people who have contacted myself and said how much they enjoy listening to this, surprisingly enough. So thank you very much for your support and kind words. And
we keep trying to improve. So
yeah, well, we have to, really, don't we? Anyway, yes. So thank you for the kind words, and we really will say goodbye for now. So until next month, bye.
Bye.